How to manage JavaScript module paths in large projects. Imagine trying to find your way through a maze of files in a big JavaScript project. Without a plan, it can get confusing fast. Managing module paths well keeps your code clean and easy to work with. With modern JavaScript, especially using S6+ modules, you have some smart tools to help you stay organized. First, remember that S6 modules let you split your code into separate files and import only what you need. But in large projects, using long relative paths like //helper JS can make your code messy and hard to update. So what can you do? One way is to use module aliases. Many build tools like Webpack let you define short names for long paths. For example, you can set @components to point to your components folder. Then, instead of writing long paths, you just write import button from @components button. This makes your code cleaner and easier to read. Another option is to use JavaScript import maps, especially in browser environments. Import maps let you create a JSON file that tells the browser where to find modules. You can map simple names to actual URL or file paths. This way, in your code, you only write import something from my library, and the browser knows exactly where to find it. Import maps also let you scope different versions of the same module, which is helpful when working with multiple dependencies. If your project has many packages or modules, organizing them in a monorepo can be a great choice. Tools like Lerna or Yarn Workspaces help manage multiple packages in one repository. They hoist shared dependencies to the top level, so you avoid duplication. This setup makes importing between packages straightforward and keeps your project structure tidy. You can also configure path mappings in your TypeScript or Babel configuration files. For TypeScript, you edit the tsconfig.json file to define custom paths. Babel has a similar setup in Babel, config.js. These configurations help your editor and build tools recognize your aliases, making development smoother. Avoid deep relative paths because they are fragile and hard to maintain. Instead, stick to absolute or alias-based imports. Keep your folder structure consistent and logical. Group related modules together so defining meaningful aliases becomes simple. In complex projects, you might need different versions of the same dependency. Using import maps or package managers, you can scope these versions to specific parts of your project. This prevents conflicts and keeps everything running smoothly. For example, you could set aliases in your Webpack configuration. Or, in modern browsers, use import maps to control how modules are resolved. If you organize your project as a monorepo, managing multiple packages becomes easier. Just make sure your development environment and build tools recognize these setups. By combining these strategies, you keep your module paths clear, concise, and scalable. It makes working on large JavaScript projects much easier and less error-prone. This approach aligns perfectly with mastering JavaScript modules and S6+ features, helping you write cleaner, modular, and efficient code.